For the opening round of the 2015 Rotax Max Euro Challenge, brought to you by RGMMC. Matt Suckling and myself, Chris Hartley, here in the commentary box to talk you through the DD2 second chance heat. So there are about 40 drivers in DD2 this weekend, the two-speed gearbox category. We have 28 of them already through to the final. And now we've got the others that after the second chance heat yesterday didn't automatically go through. So there are 12 drivers vying for 6 places. So the top 6 will go through to the finals. The other 6 will go out. And pole position belongs to Marc Bateau, the driver that won the Winter Cup in the Masters division 6 weeks ago in Spain. Marc here in France will be absolutely determined to get through, as well fellow Frenchman Christophe Adams. So that's the top 2 on the grid. Dimitrios Vasileris and Ilja Aloskins are on row 2. Steve Bull and Aldis Timax on row 3. On row 4, Kawazi Tomokazu, the Japanese driver, and Ernest Velesmanis. On row 5, Ronald Billings and Harold Scott-Kaklis, who's a much quicker driver than his position would have you believe. He surely is going to be one to watch from 10th on the grid. The mixed weather obviously catching him out yesterday. Marcel Steinert and Alessio Curto complete the grid. So 50-50 chance here, Matt, of making it through to the final, and they'll have 9 laps in which to sort themselves out.
Yeah, and it's a pretty mixed grid. Someone's off the track already there. 642 has gone straight on for some reason, so that's not good news for Ernest Vesmanes. He gets out the car, gets himself to the front, drags it out, gets it back on track, but that's not a good start, is it, to this second chance heat? So whatever he was thinking, he wasn't really concentrating on the track. He gets back in now, try and fire up, which he does, and he'll rejoin at the back. But just going to say that half of this field are masters. We've got a couple through already. Iger Mukin, who was the quickest of all of them yesterday, makes it through to the pre-final, and Tamsin Germain also going through. So masters and also the normal DD2s, but which ones are going to make the final 6 places to get through later on? They're on their second formation lap, just weaving their way down towards the chicane now. They'll just wait for that man who went off, Ernest Vesmizes, to come onto the back, and then we should be ready to go for another 9 laps. Yeah,
he should be able to catch them up and join them. He's got going again, and he's about to go into turn 7. They're slowly heading towards turn 10, so he'll catch them up, and then they should get underway with the 9-lap race. Bateau on pole position, Christophe Adams alongside. The Masters drivers, the senior category within this DD2 class for drivers aged 32 and above. 3 of them, as Matt said, already through. Igor Mukin will be 16th on the grid for the pre-final. Tamsin Germain will be 22nd on the grid, and Geza Fodor was the other one to go through, the Hungarian, 23rd on the grid. So 3 Masters going through, but you'd think that there would be a couple more at least to join them here, particularly with the front row being locked out by Masters drivers. As I say, keep an eye on Harold Scott-Kaklis here, the tall Latvian driver, who's towards the back of the grid but should come through, Matt.
Indeed he should. So here we go then for a start of the race, which we're going to get now. Good start from the inside, as we saw yesterday. Car 651, and then contact in the middle of the pack there. The one that came through was Steve Bull. So Steve looks to be leading down towards turn 2 after a good start. The one that got bumped wide was on the outside, so he's going to drop down the order there. Probably one of the Masters runners that we've lost towards the rear, and a couple more also in drama as well. They're all trying to squabble their way through at turn 4.
It was Christophe Adams from the front row that's near the back of the field now, I'm afraid. Christophe making his way back through in the back straight.
Yeah, he was strong last year, was Christophe, and he's back for another season by the looks of it, and he's got work to do. So watch out for Christophe, the Frenchman, of course, on home turf, to see if he can work his way through. But the top 2 are the ones that have broke away so far. Steve Ball is one of those. Just trying to work out who the other will be as well before too much longer. It could be the man who started fairly towards the front there, which is... can't think of his name now. Tomokazu, is it? I think Kawazi Tomokazu's come through in car 627 by the looks of it. I think he's the one who's just taken the lead of the race. Yes, he has. So Tomokazu leads. Steve Bull down to 2nd. These 2, though, are starting to break away. But can the rest of the pack now work together? 3rd place on his own at the minute, and then 4th place with the rest of the train behind.
And from 10th, Harold Scott-Kaklis in the all-white race suit, already up to 4th place. There's almost another change of lead there going into turn number 2 as Steve Bull had a look down the inside. He's been held up. Somebody has spun off down at turn 2, I think from inside the top 6. Just looking through the binoculars to identify who it is. And gets going again, and it was number 645, I think. Yeah, Aldis Timax was 7th, actually. It was just outside the top 6. So Timax... at the back of the field now. So at the end of the first lap, it's Tomokazu from Bull, Aloskins 3rd, Scott-Kaklis 4th, Vesmanis down to 5th place. Mark Berteau, the pole sitter, down to 6th position. That's the way it goes. The top 2 have got breathing space. 3rd and 4th are together, and Harold Garcaklis looking pretty menacing in 4th place now. He's caught up very quickly to the tail of the Masters driver Aloskins, and he slices past him on the way into turn 10. No bother at all. So I've got a feeling Garcaklis might win this race, even though he doesn't necessarily need to. So he's up to 3rd. Just ahead of him, the top 2 go through. Tomokazu doing well here, the Masters driver, still keeping Steve Ball behind him and looking comfortable again into turn 2, Matt.
Yeah, he certainly is, but now the top 2 have got to be wary of that man coming from behind, Harold Garcaklis, who sits in 3rd place, turns his way on towards the right-hander at turn 4. Then there's a slight breathing gap to 4th and 5th, which is Aloskins and Ernest Velmanis at the minute, so those 2 together as well. And the one just inside the top 6 is going to be Mark Berteau. So after that poor start to the race, dropping to the back, he's now back up into the top 6, and he should just about get his way through here, with the rest now all fighting amongst themselves behind in 7th and 8th places. Last time through across the line, there was a gap of just a quarter of a second between the top 2 guys, and Harold Garcaklis was then a further 1.2 seconds back. But this time round, it's going to be a lot closer between these 3 as they head their way in towards the hairpin at turn 10. Now onto the final corner they go. We've got, this time round, to 6 laps to go, so let's see what they can do about this. Still Tomokazu that leads the way in kart 627. The man chasing behind is Steve Ball. Good start from him, of course, down on row number 3 initially when the race got underway. And here comes Harold Garcaklis. Quicker that time round, brings the gap now to just 9/10 of a second.
Yeah, and at turn 10 there was a change for 4th place. A nice move from the other Latvian driver, Ernest Weissmans, to get past his countryman, Ilja Aloskins. So 4th and 5th changed around. 6th now is Mark Berteau. 7th, Alessio Curto. And Christoph Adams is in 8th place. He was, though, 7th at the start of that lap. So Christoph Adams, the 2012 Masters champion in the Euro Challenge, coming from that turn 1 incident, getting himself up to 7th, but then dropping again to 8th place now. So very frustrating race so far for the Frenchman. The top 3, though, are absolutely together as they make their way through the chicane at turn 9, up towards the left-hander at turn 10. Harold Garcaklis, late on the brake, screams down the inside, and still 2nd place now away from Tomokazu, who's already lost the lead to Steve Ball. So it's 1st to 3rd on this lap for the Japanese driver. Still gets him through, of course. So it's Bull that goes on to the start of this lap as the race leader. Garcaklis in 2nd, and Tomokazu down to 3rd place. They have, though, got 2.5 seconds advantage over the next group of 3, which is Vesmanis, Aloskins and Berteau. They're getting pretty close together, but they don't need to fight too hard, because there is a bit of a gap back then to Alessio Curto, who is in 7th place, but he's about 1.1 seconds behind them. So as long as they don't do anything silly here, Matt, in the final few laps of the race, the top 6 should be able to go through without too many problems.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on Alessio Corto then, who's trying to catch those 6 drivers up ahead. The top 3 are the ones that have broken away so far, with 4.5 laps now to go. What can Harold Garcaklis do on this lap? Can he get his way past Steve Ball and pick up the lead of the race in his 2nd chance heat? He's thinking about it down again at turn number 10, but this time not quite close enough to get the job done. So he sits there, continues again, tries to get a good run through the final corner, which leads itself onto a very, very fast start-finish line. Turn 1 is near enough flat out as well, and here comes now Harold Garcaklis in the tow there. It's got Tomokazu just dropping off the back now. He's trying to keep with him as much as possible, but they've still got a nice gap behind. There they go side by side for the lead of the race. Harold Garcaklis trying to outsmart the race leader Steve Ball there to go one way then the other, but it doesn't quite work. He then gets a good run down the back straight through turn 4. That's side by side as they head off there down towards turn 5. Let's see if Harold can get it done. Yes, he can. He goes now into the lead of the race. Steve Ball drops down to 2nd, and 3rd place is still going to be Tomokazu at the minute, the Japanese racer, who turns his way on towards the right-hander at turn 7, briefly looking there towards the inside of Steve Ball, but now it's going to be the case of, is Harold Garcaklis going to pull away in the lead? He may just do that up front as he works his way now on towards the hairpin at turn 10. Here comes Tomokazu down the inside line, and he now takes the place away from Steve Ball.
Japanese driver up to 2nd. 4th place on his own is Vesmanis, but there was a change for 5th as that lead battle happened into turn 2. Mark Berteau went down the inside to get 5th place away away from Ilja Oskins. He did that because he knew that he was about to come under pressure from Alessio Curto, who in 7th place has caught them up now. 3 laps to go, and Curto in 7th place is almost onto the tail of Oloskins in the final qualification position. He looks at the inside into turn 3, and that's a tight move, but he's just about filtered through. And Oloskins will lose another place as well to Dimitris Vizeleris, who still has a chance. He's up to 7th, the Greek driver. So into the top 6 now comes Alessio Curto with a really audacious move there into the tight and twisty turn 3. And that will put him up into the final qualification position in 6th place. The top 3 are all together, but they're all just vying for grid positions now rather than trophies. This is just to see where they start, because they're surely going to get through. Although, it has to be said, Harold Garkaklis has not been able to shake off at all Kawasi Tamakazu. And Steve Bolt now, as there's a change just behind Curto, is going to lose a place. That is to Vizeleris, the Greek driver who fires up the inside. Just behind, we got Christoph Adams, I think, and Ronald Billings running side by side as well, trying to get onto the tail of this top 6. Through they go. Had 7 of the 9 laps. There are 2 to go. Top 3, Garkaklis, Tamakazu and Bull Vismanis in 4th place, being caught by Mark Bateau in 5th place. And then we've got this almighty battle going on for 6th place. Vizeleris is there still, but with the blue suit and the yellowish helmet, Alessio Curto is in 7th place and only 1.5 kart lengths behind him. Then you've got Adams in 8th, not that far back. Oloskins down to 9th. Ronald Billings has tumbled down to 10th place now. So a lap and a half to go here, Matt. And Alessio Curto is going to have a go. And if those two hold each other up, certainly there's a chance for Christoph Adams still to try and catch them in that little group behind. But Curto at the moment has just fallen back a little bit here as he turns into turn 10, and is about 3 kart lengths back now on 6th place. Yeah, and you can be assured that Curto will go for it if he gets the opportunity. He needs to get himself through into the pre-final in a couple of hours' time. So they come onto the straight this time. The last lap board is out. The leader's already down at turn number 2, so they're all through now if they don't make any mistakes on this final lap. 4th and 5th look okay as well. The likes of Ernest Vismanis and Mark Bateau as well. But it's that fight for 6th place. It continues on with the likes of Dimitris Vizeleris, Alessio Curto and Christoph Adams now on the tail, getting closer and closer. But if Christoph wants to make it through, he needs to gain 2 places. So it's going to be a much harder job for him to get through in this race. The top 5 are there safe at the minute. 6th place as well, looking okay. So what can Alessio Curto do? Is now being caught by Christoph Adams, heading down towards turn 7. Does Christoph look for a move? He thinks about it, but he's running out of time dramatically here. Only a few more corners to go. So I think the top 6 should just about stay as they are, although the fight for the lead is not over either. Harold Garkaklis under pressure, but Tamakazu won't try anything too stupid here. Christoph Adams, as the checkered flag comes out for our race winner, Harold Garkaklis. He's closing, but it's only for 7th place. So it's going to be no change on this final lap. It's Garkaklis, Tamakazu, Bull in 3rd, Vismanis 4th, Bateau in 5th, and hanging on to that 6th place fairly comfortably on the final lap was Dimitris Vizeleris with a very good drive there. Vizeleris struggled a bit on the first few laps, but he came good and he pulled away from 7th and 8th actually on that final lap. So those provisionally are the 6 that will go through. There on screen on RGMMC TV, you'll see the confirmation of, well, the top 12, which was everybody because there were only 12 of them to start with. So Harold Garkaklis for Flandria Kart, the winner by 1.5 tenths of a second from Kawasi Tamakazu. And the Masters driver there, what he's done, Matt, he's given himself a chance of a podium because it means he'll be the 4th Masters driver to go through. He will join Igor Mukin, Tamsin Germain and Geza Fodor. So there will be 4 Masters only in the point scoring final. And 3 of them are going to get themselves onto the podium. Yep, they'll all have a nice fight out there in that race, which is one to look forward to. I think Mark Bateau also has just about made it through as well in 5th. So yes, sorry, yeah, 5 of them, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. Mark Bateau will be 5 of them. But they're going to be a fair bit further back, aren't they? And Igor Mukin's going to have a big advantage. He did well yesterday, didn't he, in 16th place? Yeah, quite a surprise to get himself through. Of course, Tamsin Germain not performing that well in the wet conditions, so she was kind of off cusp compared to what she did in qualifying on Friday. So we'll watch out to see what the Masters can do amongst the main DD2 runners.